Today we are customizing the new Windows terminal. Hey there, this is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and today we're going to be customizing the Windows terminal application. I'm actually using the beta version, but Microsoft introduced this a little while back. A new kind of modern app, whatever they want to call them, version of Windows Terminal. Has some better features. I really like it's got a tabbed interface, things like that. So let me launch it here. Here we go. So we can add more tabs of the same thing, or we can add a tab of the older version 5 PowerShell, a command prompt, or an Azure Cloud Shell. Which I don't use, and that's kind of the thing that I'm like, okay, I don't want this. How do I get rid of this? You know, I want to add some things that I want to be able to do, you know, myself that are going to help me, right? Okay, so we can go into settings. One thing's easy to do. We go into settings, come down. It instantly knows to load. I have my system set up to load Visual Studio Code, of course. And here down we have the Azure Cloud Shell. I don't want that. So here, this hidden line, I don't even have to delete this, right? In case sometime in the future I want to use, you know, this, but I can just set that to true, save it, and then next time I will close things out here. And next time I load the terminal preview here, I've only got PowerShell, Windows Command Prompt, and the new version 7 PowerShell. But I want one that says PowerShell plus loading the AWS module, because that's what I'm going to be, you know, that's mostly what I'm going to be doing. Typically when I'm hitting PowerShell is I'm going to be getting in, doing some AWS stuff, you know, controlling, looking up instances, different things like that. So I want to be able to add that. Okay, so if we go into settings, automatically know I'm going to need to copy. I'll just copy one of these. There's two different kinds. There's these that are sources that they are built in kind of into Windows. That say Windows Terminal PowerShell Core, and there's Windows Terminal Azure. So those are kind of just modules that are built into Terminal and built into part of Windows. But what I'm going to be doing is using the regular PowerShell command to do this. So take one, copy it, come down here and paste it. So here I'm going to say this is PowerShell plus AWS. Now we need a GUID because we want that to be unique, and I came over here. There's a free online GUID generator. I'm just going to click generate me a GUID, and boom, there's my GUID. Makes it quick and easy just to be able to come in here and create a new GUID just like that. So, and here I'm going to change this to PowerShell plus AWS. Okay, so now I don't want to run PowerShell. I want to run pwsh.exe. So that's the new version 7 of PowerShell, because that's what I want to be using, the newer one, the new .NET Core type version of PowerShell. But I need it, but what I want to do is I want it to run a specific PowerShell set of commands when it starts. So if I just do this and just run this, I'm going to get the version 7, right? So I want to do more than that. First I want to say no exit, because if I send a command to PowerShell, if I send a file to PowerShell and run it, typically PowerShell is just going to exit once it gets done with that and drop me back to a command prompt or whatever I had. But what I really want to do is have it stay open with all of the things that I've loaded. So now we add file. So this is the file that I'm going to load, and I have this copied over here to make it easier. So boom. So I have, and you need to do double slashes. So C, users, me, documents, PowerShell scripts, load AWS module, PS1, and boom, then that will load that so that we get all our AWS stuff loaded into the screen. Okay, Now, one other thing we can do that it allows you to do, so if you see in the PowerShell module, see when I pull this down here, there's a nice little fancy icon here, nice little C prompt icon, the newer, fancier PowerShell icon. I wanted to show something other than that. So we can come down here and go icon, colon, and then I'm going to save, I'm going to download an icon, and I'm going to put it in that directory. But so C, users, Thomas, documents, PowerShell scripts, AWS icon. Make sure to put a comma at the end there. Okay, so now I have to go get an icon to use. So that, I went over here to a site called Icon Archive, and I just typed in AWS, and that gets me, okay, this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to download that icon. There it is. That looks like a pretty good icon for it. Boom. We're going to go over here to PowerShell and go boom, and I'm going to rename this to just to AWS. So there we go. Now we've got our icon, but you see in here this directory, my script that I'm going to want to run, load AWS module, is not there. So we need to create that. Okay. So let's just create that really quick. I'm going to say new text document, and this is going to be load AWS module.ps1. Okay, so now we're going to open that with code. Okay, so now we have this module. There's nothing in it, but first thing I want to do in this thing is I'm going to say we're writing stuff to the give me some indication that I'm doing something, which is that. Then I'm going to show, then I'm going to actually import the module. So I go import module AWS PowerShell Net Core. Then at the end, so I can confirm that it's loaded, I do get module AWS PowerShell.NET Core. Now in here I could do, my set default region. I can set all my parameters. I can do whatever I want here. After this, if I want to actually have it connect to AWS, I can do that. Okay, now that I've got the file saved here, now we can reopen our Windows terminal. And I could set this so that it automatically loads the AWS module when it opens, the default. But sometimes I'm not doing that. Sometimes I'm doing some other PowerShell things, and I don't want that time lag. There is a little bit of loading time lag. So, but here if I pull down this menu, I now have Windows PowerShell, the regular newer PowerShell, command prompt, and PowerShell plus AWS. So I click that, and boom, it shows me that message that it's loading. So I know that it's kind of telling me that it's doing something, and then now it displays the version of PowerShell.NET Core so that I can confirm that it's loaded. And then I can do, like set default AWS region, US West 1, boom, and then go on with my AWS commands, connect to the system. Like I said, you could actually put those into the script that loads if you want. If you have different AWS accounts, then maybe don't do that, but you can do as much as you can. Like if there's like 10 things that you always do when you get connected, put those in that script. Then every time you load this window, they'll automatically be loaded, save you so much time. Okay, well that's something simple that you can do, customizing this. You can do it for anything. The command prompt, you can do it for whatever Linux subsystem, anything that you want to do that you're adding to the Windows terminal, and be able to customize that and put that forward. Okay. Well, thanks for watching this. Thanks for everybody for liking and subscribing to my videos. I've had a little boost in subscribers lately. Thank you everybody for coming and showing up, and take care of yourself. All right.